Well, hello everybody. This is Pastor John Posey of Missouri Christian Fellowship City Church, and I got my scrubs on today. I'm getting ready to work out, and I got to thinking. I thought, well, I'd like to do a blog on this. I think it's important that we exercise disciplines in our lives, and whether those disciplines are, physical, mental, spiritual. But we need to exercise disciplines in our lives, And I got a verse that I want to share with you here in the book of 1 Corinthians. I'm going to turn there. All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 9. It says here in verse 24, Do you not know that those who run in a race run all, but one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may obtain. And everyone who competes for the prize is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a perishable crown, but we for an imperishable. Therefore I run thus, not with uncertainty. Thus I fight as not as one who beats the air. But I discipline my body and bring it into subjection, lest when I have preached to others, I myself should become disqualified. You hear so often people begin in something and then they fizzle out. And whether that's a marriage, they fail in marriage, or they fail in business, average business, couple of years they're out of business. Church, people's changing churches, starting education and dropping out of school, just not finishing things. And the Bible is clear about Jesus. He is the author and the finisher of our faith, and we have to learn to finish things that we start. And yet at the same time, you don't start something unless you sit down first and count the cost. And part of that cost is discipline. Discipline. It's this ability to continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over again because it's the right thing to do. When you don't feel like it, I don't feel like praying all the time. I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like reading my Bible all the time. I don't even feel like living for God all the time. But there's something called discipline. And discipline really pays off when it comes to 5 years and 10 years. I like to think in decades. And if you can set your heart to never be a quitter, listen to what I'm saying. Never ever quit anything. Now, don't just keep doing the same thing if you're not getting results. That's a fool. A fool will keep doing the same thing but expect different results. I'm not asking you to do that. You should always improve. You should always get better. You should always get help. You should always ask questions. You should always find others who can, give you a better way, show you a better way. You should always be looking all the time. And realizing that, there's always something better, sharper, quicker, faster, smarter. And if I can reach out, ask a question, talk to somebody, find people who are already doing something, then I can save myself a lot of time. I can save a lot of married people. I can save a lot of men all kind of time in dealing with the wife, in raising children, in handling business, finances, and on and on and on, and making critical decisions of your life. But you have to be the kind of person who has discipline. Discipline not to quit. Discipline to consistently practice and do the correct activity. And this is so important. Everybody say correct activity. Say correct activity. So the discipline to do the correct activity. If that activity is spiritual, then that would be Bible reading. That would be prayer daily. That would be going to church. Being on time. Don't be late. The discipline of that correct activity. Correct activity in marriage would be spending adequate time with your wife and your husband, saying kind words, growing together, reading books, going through resources together, doing marriage checkups on a regular basis, talking to other married people, engaging yourself in a marriage program, marriage courses, If you're in business, correct activity would be, learning your trade, knowing your skill, developing your leadership skills, developing good communication skills, marketing, and on and on and on and on. If you're a college student, your correct activity would be study and getting plenty of rest. Understanding what your priorities are. Priority is not party life. Priority is not relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends. Priority is school, education. So, it's that discipline. And then, discipline means if I leave you to yourself, what would you do? Are you the kind of person that requires somebody to stand over you and bark at you? That's a slave. That's not a king and a priest. So again, Paul said, I keep under my body, lest after I preach to some, I myself be disqualified. The worst thing in the world, in sports, the worst thing in the world is to beat yourself. And yet most people in life, they beat themselves because of a lack of discipline. So, how do I develop discipline? You develop discipline by doing small things in increments and improving and increasing as you go. Start something small. If you want to develop a discipline exercise, start something. Go for a walk 3 times a week, 10 minutes a day. Do that for a couple of weeks. Then increase it to 15. Then increase it to 20. Then increase it to a half an hour. If it's Bible reading, start reading 5 minutes a day, or half a chapter, or a chapter. If it's prayer, start praying 5 minutes a day. If it's relationship, start, and you're building your marriage, start reading a half of a page of a book each year. So you do something small, and then you increment as you go. That's how you develop discipline, and you're consistent at it. Amen. So let me encourage you, and slack and slothfulness and sloppiness in one area of your life will come over to other areas. So don't allow any of your life to be sloppy and slack. Be excellent. Say this, I have an excellent spirit. I just had to thought about that. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to go work out. And have a great